Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this afternoon session on Diamonds Are Forever, Getting the Industry Back on Track. We have for this session Mr. Jim Vimadalal, Director Alrosa, Indian Representative Office, Mr. Mehul Shah, Vice President, Bharat Diamond Bourse, Mrs. Nirupa Bhatt, Business Coach and Consulting Advisor, GIA India, Mr. Jitinder Jain, Director KGK Creations India Private Limited. The session would be moderated by Mr. Chetan Mehta, Chairman and MD, Lakshmi Diamonds and past President, Diamond Association, Bangalore. Welcome to the session. Over to you, Mr. Chetan Mehta.
Yeah, thank you, Padma. Happy afternoon to everyone. It's a great meeting all the panelists who are more backbone of our industry. I think we no need any self-introduction of everyone. Everyone are the pioneers of the industry, and thank you so much. Firstly, I would like to come to Mehul Bhai on this question, which is, which we are suffering from long months, and probably what is your thinking on that? So I needed few inputs on that. The diamond industry has been hit due to pandemic situation. What are the critical issues affecting the diamond industry? Mehul Bhai, I just wanted to know briefly, and what do you think about that?
So firstly, let me tell you, it is not only the diamond industry. All the industries in the world presently is badly affected, leaving aside the medical and the sanitizers manufacturers. I think everybody is worse affected. The worst of all is the tours and travel industry. And of course, diamond is something the person will buy at the last. Naturally, we will be affected. And we need to understand the times are always good as well as bad. We need to go with it. Good times were there for so many years. So there is a temporary phase and we have to go with it. That is one. Second, you see, if you study, the biggest challenge is precise to our expenses remains the same, but our turnovers has gone down by 60-70% at this moment. So survival itself is the biggest problem. But one has to understand and look at his own arithmetic, look at his own balance sheets and try to have some long-time planning and vision. No doubt this year, everybody has to lose money. There are a lot of layoffs, cost cutting. Cost cutting is the biggest thing one should think about it today. And good thing about India, that comparatively to the other countries in India, the expenditures are pretty low. But turnover has gone down by about 50, 60, 70%. But profitability in the business now with the new business is there. In fact, it is more than it used to be earlier. Why I tell you, the production has gone down. I should thank to all the mining companies. Jim is here. They have stopped supply very maturely. The big mining companies has appeared in this time that they have firstly stopped the supply. Even mining is not there, I believe. Rough supply is less. There is no manufacturing in last few months. Lately, the factories have started at a very small capacity. But the outlet of the goods is almost, I believe, at 30%. So right now, there is not goods much left in the pipeline. And instead of getting the panic or anything, one should try to hold and get the prices in the diamonds. This is the biggest thing I will speak. Regarding coming back to the crisis. Crisis is worldwide, yes, but the solutions and the effects are different in a country to country. Like when you look at America, there is a money, America and Europe. And lot of advanced countries, the government has pumped a lot of money, and there is a layoff. People are getting money from the government on the social security. Expenses has gone down of everyone. Traveling is not there. Petrol expenses is not there. So many other expenses. So there is some money left with the people, and online business is doing good. Jewelry itself is showing a good result. If you look at the jewelry factories in SEEPs, they are working very nice. And everybody is loaded with orders. So business will improve for sure. It is a time we have to bear with it. But in the longer run, if you see, everybody has to maintain the discipline and there will be the light at the end of the tunnel. All will make money for sure.
Yes, Mehul bhai, I think you're very well said that, this is a situation where we will come out very soon. We have to do the cost cutting and all. It is very important. And as you told, it's depends on country to country. So I think India have been tried better to be. I think we have able to understand the problem at the earlier, and we tried to come out of this problem very soon. I think thank you, Mehul bhai, for, I think it's a very positive energy what you're giving to the industry, what exactly they wanted, because now in this pandemic situations, people are having a lot of negativity in the industry. And as you told very rightly, we have hit with a lot of, only not only the diamonds, we have hit with a lot of businesses. But as we are being into this deeply, our roots are connected with the diamonds. So we are talking about this topic. So I think thank you, Mehul bhai. The same question I would just pass on to Wimbai. Wimbai, just I wanted to know a few lines. What do you feel about this pandemic situation and what it is affecting our diamond industry?
I think rather than we all know that it is affecting our diamond industry in some way or the other. But I think what is important that we focus on how can we recover from this situation. So I think the industry to recover from this current crisis to a more sustainable and healthy position is to actually it's very important for all parts of the supply chain to contribute. So, as you're aware, there are a number of things that our Indian partners should push for resolution from their end. That is from an Alrosa perspective. We are talking about direct bilateral trade in diamonds, which is very important. It is also important, for authorities in India to continue developing the trading infrastructure and the favorable conditions for it. So decisions like allowing direct sales in our SNZ with internationally competitive taxation is also very important. And it's also very important for us to look at different opportunities to digitize our industry. So we already know that our diamond trade is overburdened with paperwork and red tape. So this pandemic actually has shown us in practice that the industry has all the opportunities to make diamond trade easy and robust with the use of technologies. So I'm talking about maybe all sorts of solutions, starting from maybe introducing a digital KP certificate, maybe online compliance on mechanisms, and a remote customs clearance maybe, and ending maybe with online sales platforms, data banks, and consumer-facing digital diamond origin reports or provenance reports. I think these are things which will actually help us, recover better.
Yes, I think Jimba, it's a very valid point you have told that it's we have to push each other and to come out of this problem, because this problem is very huge. And I think in 3-4 months we have gone back very backward, but I think we can come upfront very soon. As you told, we have to form of digital, we have to be in the digital market, we have to understand how to again come back to the position on the track, what this session is all about, how to come on the track. So I think, Jimba, it's very good you have given a feedback. The same question, Nirupama ji, in a few lines I just want to understand, what do you feel about this? We have been hit by this pandemic situation, and what are the critical issues the diamond industry at present? I just want to know at present we are facing. As we know, we will come out of this problem very soon, but I just wanted to know from you a few lines what exactly you feel and what you have learned from this situation.
I think I have great respect for the diamond industry for their ability to really innovate and re-innovate and continue to reinvent the wheels, survive and grow. We have seen how they have really thrived in the past economic issues that the market globally have experienced. 2008 has been a great example. A few years ago also we had issues. So I think the diamond industry is certainly very resilient and it will come out of this situation. I think we have seen great restraint which is exercised by them in importing the rough that they need. They are polishing, and I think they are 2008 really was a turning point in many ways, that they started going towards using a lot of online platforms to sell their polish, and many of them now they sell their 50, 60, 70% of their sales is online. I believe this pandemic will show a new way, and the entire world is now focusing more on nature, and we are all becoming more aware as to where does the sourcing, the socio-economic development, the corporate social responsibility. So I believe going forward, the claims of the sustainability, the provenance, etc., will become increasingly important, and we already see some of the diamond companies really biting that and kind of using that platform and using and trying to source from such, knowing what the origins are and ability to provide that to their customers.
Yes, I think Nirupamaji, the conclusion we come, we need to be prepared for the next, and we have to be digitalized as we have come over of all the problems in before. I think it's a span of time we will come out of this problem very soon. It's a very positive energy you're giving. Jitu bhai, we have the one person who from the KGK. Jitu bhai, I think Jitu bhai, you can tell better because you have been into this industry for a long years, and I just want to understand, be in this situation, just a few lines, because we have a lot of questions to take. I just want to understand in few lines that what do you feel this situation, a pandemic situation, what it taught us, and how to come up, because you will be having a lot of overhead charges and all those things. So what exactly you think, how to come out and how we have to sustain now? So I just would like to hear a few lines from you, Jitu bhai.
Thank you, Chetan bhai, for inviting us here. I think so. Just say everybody has been talking, it's going to be a tough time, and everybody is talking on the similar lines. Those are the important learnings which we have gone through. It may be how do we convert our business into the digital format. So that is one strategy I had taking, for the diamond, which as COVID has taught us that digital is unavoidable. You have to be there, as we go along. As Mehul bhai said, the cost control. It is very, very important to synergize our business and see how do we restructure. जो हमारे एंड पे हमें लगा कि एक बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग टाइम मिला हमारे बिजनेस को स्ट्रेटेजाइज करने के लिए और हमारी जो लूप होल्स है उसको वर्क करने के लिए, ताकि हम अगले स्टेज के लिए रेडी रहे. एंड वी एज केजीके टेक दिस एज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी कि हमें सेल्फ मेडिटेशन का टाइम मिला और जो कमियां थी उसको सुधारने के लिए एक मेथड मिला. और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट साथ के साथ प्रोडक्ट एक पॉइंट रहता है. व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग, सारी चीजें अपनी जगह पे, फाइनली कस्टमर को प्रोडक्ट बिकता है, ज्वेलरी प्रोडक्ट बिकता है. एंड दैट इज वेयर लॉट ऑफ थिंकिंग एंड लॉट ऑफ चेंजेस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू सी एज वी गो अलोंग, व्हिच इज गोइंग टू बी अ मेजर लर्निंग फ्रॉम दिस पीरियड.
Okay, Jitu bhai, I think this pandemic situation have taught you how to revive yourself. Yeah. From how to change, what all the things. I think we have made ourselves more stronger to fight for the next thing. So thank you, Jitu bhai. I think it's a very valid point what you've told. But end of the day, I understood everyone are talking about the digitalization in the India, how to promote yourself, be digitalized and be as per what is the demand. We have to go as per the demand. So thank you so much. I have just one question to Jim bhai. Jim bhai, you have worked with a lot of, for a long association you have with diamond jewelry industry. You worked previously with Rio Tinto and Swarovski India. And prior to that, you have worked with Tanishq also. I just wanted to know, what is the current demand behavior for rough diamonds in the global market? Because this is from the mining to you and from you to from all the world. What is the current, demand you are facing and what all the challenges you are facing? Just I want to have a word from you.
Okay, so we all know that our industry is facing one of the most serious crises in the recent history. And the overall economic situation and the forecast for the diamond market are still far away from being positive. And to be honest, the actual impact is still very unclear. The sooner the consumer activity and trade in polished diamonds starts to recover, I think the market will revive. But we're excited as a company to see that there are some green shoots happening in the market which are turning towards a recovery mode over the recent months. I mean, overall, the global diamond trade started recovering, though it's still below last year. The numbers are still below last year. But we also know that the midstream is, actually operating with reduced capacity. So after being frozen for several months, diamond industry is slowly getting back into motion. However, it's not what we are expecting it to be. But there are a lot of other external factors also why we aren't really recovering. But slowly and steadily, we are seeing a demand. And I think that by the mid-September or so, we'll be back into positive, and we hope that happens.
Great. I think you're giving a more positive vibes to the industry. What you told is correct. Everyone on the same track. Slowly, slowly, we are coming out of this problem. And now, whatever the COVID have taught us, and slowly, slowly, we are forgetting that COVID, that it was a part of life, and it is going to stay for a long time. So we have to deal with it. That's what the scenario taught us.
Exactly.
Nirupama, ma'am, just add on to this. I just wanted to ask you, how important is certification training? How can third-party certification help in growing business and customer confidence? It is also a point where when we talk about the diamonds, what exactly you feel about this matter?
I think if I can put in a very, very simple words.
I'm sorry to tell you, because you have been a guide and you have been a superwoman of India who always been very positive. So I just want to know, because your inputs will change the mindset of industry, because whenever we spoke to you, you have been very positive. I've never thought you're talking any negativity. So I just want all the people to listen to you and just come up in their own thinking, how to come up in this industry. So I just want to know how important it is and what will be the future also.
In my opinion, it is very important. I am a very optimistic person, and I work in the industry which survives on optimism. All diamonders live for future. अब कोई सक्सेसफुल डायमंडर किसी को भी पूछ ले, वो बोलेगा आज हाँ ठीक है, मगर कल अच्छा ही होगा. मेहुल भाई ने भी आपको वही बोला, जिम ने भी आपको वही बोला, जीतू भाई ने भी वही बताया. So optimism is required. Having a positive mindset is a must. And I'll just use one example to drive home this point of third-party certification and the importance. We have several, and in a very, something that we can easily kind of understand, there are a lot of beauty contest pageants which happen. You have Miss Universe, you have Miss World. वो जानती है कि बहुत खूबसूरत है. फिर भी ये ब्यूटी कॉन्टेस्ट में जाके वो जब आते हैं तो हम क्या बोलते हैं, देखो ऐश्वर्या राय आ गई, देखो सुष्मिता सेन आ गई. Because of that, they have become more beautiful? No. They have been recognized by a certain jury members. They have set some criteria. They have gone through that. And not only that, they've answered some questions. So they are seen as someone who are all-rounded personalities. Similarly, I would say, and everything, to do anything well, I believe core competencies are very important. And grading is a complex business. Gemology is a science. And it is a business where millions of dollars of investment is required to be made continuously for research, because there are treatments which happen on a regular basis. How will a gemological lab identify what the treatments are if they don't continuously do research and identify? And that is why I have great respect for the organization that I work with, GIA, that they are not for profit, they continue to invest in researching and understanding. And that is where, when you disclose the correct statement and quality assessment, the consumers get the confidence that what I am buying is of this quality. And the consumer has a choice. Unko jo quality kharidni hai, wo kharid sakte hai. But I think grading is not a very easy subject. I think it is very important to really understand that. And that is where you need organization who are seriously, whose core competency is gemology research. They bring all that on the table and bring that and have the processes. Anonymous, independent reporting is extremely important. Anonymity is extremely important in all this. And I think that's where it helps the industry to build consumer confidence, and which in my opinion is a key today. Or to grow any market, consumer confidence is required. And I think when you have a brand like GIA with you, or any, I would say, third party, which has that credibility in the marketplace, would help.
Okay. Nirupama ji, I think very well. You have spoken that it's very important to have third party certification. As you told, I'm very much beauty, but to recognize the beauty, you need, you need a strong brand to go with that, so that we recognize we are the beautiful, right? So I think it's a third party. Diamonds are more important. Certification is more important. I just wanted to ask Jitu Bhai on this, because it's very important also. This question goes, Jitu Bhai, I just want to know, what are the strategies for betterment 2020? You're just planning for the industry and for yourself, where you can where we can work on this situation, how to come out. What is your strategy of made, because you're being one of the jewelry manufacturer as well as biggest diamond manufacturing. So I just wanted to know, what is your strategy of plan, because as having a huge company, I know there is a lot of ups and downs to sustain for the same level. It's very difficult. So I just want to know, what is your strategy for this year 2020?
uh, as I have told, the digital is one thing where we have, as a company, building up huge infrastructure, whereby our global approach can be combined, and that is one thing which is going to take us to the next level. So maybe it is US, maybe it is China, maybe it is Hong Kong, maybe it is Bangkok. A very strong integration of the digital system, which builds up for us and where we can connect to a global audience. So that is one very, very strong process, I think, as a strategy for betterment. uh, I think so. Very, very important is again going to be the product. For me, I think so. Product is key to the everything else is one part, and product is very, very important, because at the end of the day, we may be buying rough, polish, or jewelry. The consumer has to buy a product, and that is where a lot of things are going to be improved. Understanding with the gold prices is changing the entire scenario, and the fundamentals, the calculation of the product, seeing with the consumer price point, the pocket is changing drastically. So I think so the realignment of the product to the consumer is going to be very, very strong change, which is going to be seen. And that is where a lot of companies need to focus. How do we upgrade the product? Maybe it is retail, focus on the consumer and take the products accordingly. So those are few things which is very, very important, Chetan bhai. I think so the product is the key. Product for the consumer as per the scenario. And that is very, very important focus. Again, the jewelry industry has to focus, diamond industry has to focus to take it ahead.
Correct. So your strategy is working on the product, because the product which is going to sell, you need to make a unique product to sustain in the market, the lightweight, the weight should be measured properly. So exactly, you wanted to say the new designs and the new concepts will revive the market, because now we need to understand the gold prices, as you told, the gold prices are every day it is rising. So we have to set our goals in lesser gold, more of diamonds with the beautiful jewelry. Thank you, Jitu bhai. I just come on to Mehul bhai. It's a very question which critical one, which is very difficult, and I think the industry is facing. As we are aware that many global diamond companies operate their offices in BDP, has been affected due to current scenario. What do you feel? What is your thinking on that? Because all the companies are in BDP, and what do you feel? Because this is a situation we have to come out, and we are seeing a lot of the shortage of the people and workers for cutting, polishing, and all other things. So how to come up in this issue, and what do you feel for the future? What is going to happen, Mehul bhai? Just I want to add on this.
So your first question was that the foreign companies are affected. Everybody is affected the same, whether it is a foreign company, Indian company, inside Bharat Diamond Bourse or outside Diamond Bourse. Story is same with everyone. We need to think on future and how to recover from this. So we have been talking a lot about the negative side, but I think we should start thinking and talking on the positive side also. Just now Jitendra said about the gold and silver. I was to tell you that gold and silver has doubled in short time. Diamond is the only product which has seen little decline, and we ourselves are responsible for that. We have never tried to be that kind of positive person. The diamond prices marginally should go up with the time. We have to have the discipline, production and all that. But these all things I would just, it is not really your question, but I have to tell you that when you speak, the companies are affected. So companies are, yes, affected, but one thing you understand, less manpower, but everybody is busy today. Earlier, people used to buy the inventories. They are in, see, most of the offices, foreign offices in BDB are mostly procurement offices. So the procurement was in lot and they used to serve the market and looking at the future demand they used to buy. Now every day the demands are coming. Volumes are small, but people are busy. Every day the demands are coming. People are procuring goods as per the demand. Nobody wants to sit on the inventory, but whatever the order comes, people desperately want to supply. So these companies, overseas companies who are in BDB, almost all are busy procuring the goods, not volumes, but small, but everybody is busy. So again, we have to wait. Jim said that this quarter, so let the quarter pass. But thereafter, things are surely going to improve. Now, that is your first question. What was the, sorry, the second one you said? The migrant workers.
Yes.
So, yes. So,
I'd
migrants.
just like to add on that so that your
Yes.
answer will be very good. Like, what's your plan? What we have planned for the factories to encourage the laborers to work? So,
Yeah.
I know at that moment people have left to their hometowns, they will come back. But what make us to get them back on the track? What is the positivity energy we are going to do for them? So, I just want to know what exactly we are going to revive them.
See, most of the factories are working, even BDB is working in a very disciplined environment. Look at the footfall in BDB is 15,000 people today. Or at the peak time, it used to be 50,000. It has reduced. People are very much in discipline, and the organization, especially gem and jewelry sector, is a very responsible sector. I have seen some of the factories right now, they are working in an extreme discipline situation, and there has to be the feeling of safety and security. So many of the organization, in fact, BDB staff, I tell you, the BDB staff is staying inside the BDB. We have made a dormitory arrangement of 125 people in Bharat Diamond Bourse. The minute they want to come in, they can stay here comfortably. There is a social distance between the two beds. Food is there. Everything is taken well care. Their staying facility is good. Bathrooms are good. Toilets are there. They have their own locker rooms. Everything. They are staying much better and safe environment than they are staying in the closed community. Now, so the first thing is the assurance of their safety and security, which is very well passed on from this sector. Now, the production itself is at maybe 30-40%. Right now, about that kind of capacity of workers are already there. Migrants are of two kind of people. One is interstate and one is outside within the state. So, like if I take the example of Surat, so there are migrants from Bhavnagar and the other small towns of Gujarat, which is already started coming and quite a big volume has come back. And there are migrants which are coming from the other states like Bihar and UP and all that. Now there is a sign that they are coming back, or maybe they are waiting for some nearby festival season, but reverse migration already has started. And by the time when there will be a bigger production, I don't think so in the longer run, there will be a shortage of diamond and jewelry working manpower.
Okay. So I think Mehul Bhai is very much positive. This is just a phase. I think all the migrant workers will be very soon on the track. Just they have gone on long holidays and they'll be back on the track, and
Sure.
work will be as usual, will be starting.
And
So
one
just I
more,
wanted-
one more thing I will add, that there used to be longer vacation during Diwali and those certain times. I believe that will not be there.
Correct.
So once they come back, they will not go back again.
Correct. They already availed the Diwali.
Yes. So right now, what you said, holiday, it remind me. So I think this October, November, December is going to be the full working season for sure.
Okay. Okay.
And again, Jim will tell when they are going to supply the bigger volume of rough diamonds.
Jim Bhai is one of the very dynamic personality.
Yeah.
and really we love him because the way he put up the words very straight to the point.
Mm.
And I think I just want to ask you, Jimbai. I feel almost Alrosa mining dates from 1954. It's wonderful to see you have implemented more than 500 social and charitable initiatives. So I first congratulate for this doing a great noble work. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you, Alrosa team, mining team. I just have one question. How do you see the current market challenges and what are your plans to tackle it? Are you making any plans, because as being a big rough company, what are your plans? Because and just add on to that, I just want to add on to that. What is your plan for the natural diamonds campaign? Also add on to that. I just maybe it's a little bit diplomatic. I just want to ask clearly. So what is your plan, Jimbai, for this further?
So, yeah, it's a good question. Let me first begin by saying Alrosa is the biggest public limited company in diamond mining. And we feel very responsible to the locals of the regions where we operate. So, because we are the leader in the diamond industry in terms of social investments, we are allocating almost over 3% of revenue to social programs, which include pension contributions to the amount of 3.4 billion ruble. And these are for the employees and the families who work in Alrosa. In totality, Alrosa employs around 35,000 people. And mainly the company employs people which are local personnel. And we actually mine in the regions of Yakut, where in 2019, we hired almost 3,000 residents of that region. So our priority, of course, being a Russian company, is to continue providing decent working conditions, decent wages for the employees, and of course, sustainable economic growth in areas of our presence. You'll be surprised to know that the earnings of our workers are twice the average in that particular region of Yakutia, and 3 times average salary in Russia in general. So, in 2019, the company's dividend and tax payments accounted to almost over 40% of Yakutia region's budget. And the total contribution to the federal budget and the regional budget amounted to almost 100 billion rubles. So we are more than dedicated to the natural diamond mining industry, and I don't see us doing any other business apart from natural diamonds. And with regards to your question, with regards to marketing, now, despite all the current challenges, the cooperation with India remains crucial for us and for the whole pipeline, because, 90% of all diamonds come here for cutting. So
Yes.
we believe that there is a significant potential for the Indian diamond jewelry market. And as the country's middle class will grow, we will also look to, initiate our marketing plans. However, under these current circumstances, it's too early to talk about any specific plans regarding end consumer segment. We will endorse any initiative, that supports the midstream and helps to balance supplies eventually. I hope that's a satisfactory answer for you.
No, it's very well said. I think you're very properly have put on, and I think the way company is growing and the company did for the industry, it's great. I congratulate again Jim and Rosa mining team for this. Just I move on to Nirupama ma'am. It's very this question is something everyone wanted to know, and a few years back, every person dealing with natural diamond was totally against lab-grown diamonds. But today we see DBS themselves are one of the biggest manufacturer of lab-grown diamonds, and recent developments in the markets has been by big guys who are dealing in natural diamonds have also diversified into lab-grown. This is clear indication that lab-grown diamonds are here to stay. How do you see this dual market in future? It's a very long question. And I just add on to that, how we have to keep a clarity in the market, because there is a lot of confusion, lot of things, because being one company dealing two businesses, it's very difficult. So I just wanted to know very briefly about this. What do you feel? You have to unmute yourself, ma'am. I'm not able to hear you.
I said, if your question is long, my answer will not be very short.
Please, we have much time because it's a very interesting sessions. We are seeing lot of positive energy.
So the question is that lab-grown diamonds have been in existence since 1953 when GE first came up with this diamonds in a created diamonds, so to say. And they were always there and they were used for industrial purposes, etc. Now, as with the technology that has improved. And I think smart business people keep up with the technology, with whatever is happening in the marketplace, etc. And I think if they see an opportunity in a in lab-grown diamond area, I'm sure these are all smart entrepreneurs. They will take it up and they'll try and build business there. So it's question of evolution. Also in a market, for as far as consumers are concerned, I think consumers look for new things, and if something is well presented to them with good design, with proper disclosures, I think it would be well received and can be sold. I think the key here is the disclosure. And as in I think the challenge for the market is that how do you build a category of lab-grown diamonds? I think if they just build this category saying and keep comparing it with natural diamonds, I don't know how long will it last. How much is it sustainable? So I think they'll have to make an effort and make the investment to build that category. The natural diamond category has been built over last more than 100 years. Look at the amounts which is invested by all the mining companies, starting from De Beers, Rio Tinto did something. In recent times, we have this DP and now the Natural Diamond Council. All the mining companies are investing to really promote the natural diamond category. I think the lab grown also, if they want to create and to grow that market, to grow that business, I think they'll have to invest and communicate to the consumers what they are about, what does the product stand for, how do you present it to them, etc. So there certainly is a market for that, and the lab-grown gemstones have existed in the color gemstone business for many, many years. You have always had created emeralds and rubies, etc. In pearls, we have seen natural and their counterparts. So I think it is possible to create category, but the key to in our marketplace is the consumer confidence. We have to make sure that we are able to retain the trust of the consumers, and to do so, disclosure is the key. Whether these are treated, how is the manufacturing process, whatever that they follow. I think it is not just good enough to say, in my opinion, this is just like a diamond. You may say it is because it is crystallized carbon that it is like a diamond, but I think to be fair to the consumers, you have to make sure you explain what it is. What is the difference between a natural diamond which was formed 1 billion years ago, more than 1 billion years ago, compared to a diamond which is grown in a laboratory in 3 or 4 days? There is a difference, and there is a market for both. I believe there is a market for both. It is very important, and it is responsibility of our industry to make sure, or whoever is presenting, the retailers, to make sure they understand what the product is and present it accordingly.
I think Nirupama ma'am have put very rightly, very clarity that you should have a proper clarity, whatever you say, you have to disclose. And why this question was recently, GIA have announced the certification. I think they were doing before, but I'm not sure. Recently, they have announced diamonds, lab-grown diamonds. They are certifying. It's a clear indication that this lab-grown diamonds are going to stay for a longer time. And as you rightly said, that we should have clarity in our business. We should properly disclose. And people now, they are understanding lab-grown diamonds slowly, and I see a lot of demand in the market. So just thank you, Nirupama ma'am, for this great, I think we should have a clarity for everything that makes our business improve and grow over India. So just, I have a next question for Jitu bhai. Can you hear me, Jitu bhai?
Yeah, very much.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Jitu bhai, just I have a question. Yeah, I think I just wanted to know, in given situation, how does this virtual business meet works? How is it meet? Now we are seeing everything. See, now before we used to have one-on-one meeting, we used to fly to Bangalore, Mumbai, immediately 2 hours we are there. Now we are seeing everything, no touch, only see. So how do you feel? What is this growth will be there of virtual meet in the business, and how important it is, and how longer it is, it will help our industry to grow? Please, I just want your inputs in that. And are you doing this the virtual business meet, and it's helping our industry to grow? I just want to know that also.
Thank you, Chetan. I think so. This is the greatest learning of the COVID. The way the communication has changed is phenomenal. It is unbelievable earlier that we could have conferences like this. So this is the greatest change which has brought to a common level. Virtual exhibition. This info exhibition is going on. There is a Forever Mark exhibition, virtual exhibition, which is going on. And when I see them, the way they are organized, the way the clarity is there is phenomenal. So there is a huge information which is going into these virtual exhibitions. I don't know yet how successful they are, because there is going to be a transition where the user get friendly and acquainted to use these. So I think so it's a transition form. This is the future. We have to get this into the process. What was the second part?
No, how do you see the future of this virtual business? Will it? And I just wanted to add: are you implementing on that, and how success it is?
I think so. This is very, very. So this is what we are doing. It is going to happen is going to be an OD channel. As we go along, all the events, even after this COVID thing is done, I think so. This digital communication is there to stay, because a lot of things have been really made easy. So as on today, virtual exhibition is a starter. It is going to take time before real business is converted. But this has actually brought a lot of people from different part of the world together on one platform. And for us as KGK, all this period, we have really taken a lot of efforts in communicating with all our clients in all this period to bring that relationship and take the business ahead. So for us, it has worked. We are also in a process कि इसको digital business format पे कैसे लेकर आवे. So we are working on our EDPs, software systems, whereby a lot of business transaction can also be done through digital. And I think so that is very, very important. A lot of companies are spending, will have to spend on a lot of upgradation of the software, thereby the business can be actually transacted through these digital platforms. And this is what is happening. So I see it is just maybe before it gets very much acquainted, it is a process, and it is going to be there for a long time, and it is going to be helpful in our future business also.
Okay, Jitubhai, it's a very positive vibration you're giving for, because before we used to listen, go to other countries, and we used to have this video calling and all. And in India, we were having always one-to-one touch meeting everyone. Now in this COVID, we understood, this is very important platform, and it is going to stay forever, because now this is only a one digital thing where we are easily able to talk to each other, understand each other, and as you have got benefited. So I think it's a future is more digital, and I congratulate for that, Jitu, by giving your good inputs into that. I just have one addition question to that. It is because a lot of marriages were there. Yes, ma'am.
Can I add something to what Jitu?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
I would like to say is that in this, the change that I think is required, and what is the branding becomes much more important. And when I say branding, it is not just creating a consumer brand as a business brand. What is your quality? Because first, when you were able to go and see someone, you could see the quality inspected. And so, and then, you could have that conversation, ye theek nahi hai, ye kar do, wo kar do. Now, that's not going to be the case, or it will be less if it is virtual. The service becomes extremely important. You don't want to do a lot of back and forth. So now that you're not traveling, you're going to save that time. And that time will be spent, in my opinion, invested in quality service and these kind of expectations. So I think the businesses have to really focus on improving, documenting their in-house processes, that they build that brand about quality product, designing, merchandising, everything. Because if you're not able to show something which is impactful, you have lost the opportunity. You will not be able to really speak to someone and then explain much. Visual is so important then. That brand, I think, building becomes very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's very truly you have said, ma'am, that it's very nice because we are not going to touch the jewelry. We have to make the upgradation of jewelry a good brand where by seeing people buy the jewelry. It's very good. I just have one more question to Jitu bhai. This is a very good question, and I think this will always have, because there was a lot of marriages have been cancelled. Those money are put up in the market aside. So just I have a question on that. How do you feel due to lockdown and COVID issue? A lot of marriages have become a low-key affair. This has caused a lot of high-budget marriages to cut cost. Am I right? Can we consider this as an opportunity to divert the money saved to our industry with aggressive campaigns? What do you feel that?
100%, this is a huge opportunity because this is a saving for future. And as an industry, we need to take this advantage because, as we always say, jewelry is there for to stay. Resort में जाएंगे, खर्च होगा, finish हो जाएगा. लेकिन ये एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है बिकॉज अगर बाकी सब चीजों में बजट कट रहा है तो एटलीस्ट ज्वेलरी में जो बजट था वो ज्वेलरी में जाना चाहिए और उसके लिए एज अ इंडस्ट्री वी हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट द एफर्ट इज डन एंड दैट मनी व्हिच इज एलोकेटेड फॉर ज्वेलरी शुड रीच ज्वेलरी एंड आई थिंक सो दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी स्टिल लाइज ये it is phased out, the time has passed, but that opening is still on and that can be grabbed any moment we are the markets open up and happen, things are normal.
Okay. So you see big opportunity. At least I think as per understanding of market, people will invest more into gold and diamonds, and I think our industry will revive very soon. I come back to Jimbai. I just wanted to know, how do you plan to sustain for the mining future and growth you expect for the diamond value and production in the future? That is a very important question. Can you just put some light on that, Jimbai?
See, first and foremost, our current decision as Alrosa as a company, and I'm talking purely basis rough diamonds right now, is to maintain the commitment to the responsible sales policy, which is providing unprecedented flexibility to our long-term customers. What will happen with this is this will speed up the market's return to supply-demand balance. So from the first day of the crisis, we've decided, Alrosa as a company, to strictly follow the price over volume approach and to keep our prices stable and supply only when there is a real demand for the product. So what we are doing is we are not pressing our clients with any contract obligations. We've decided to provide flexibility to them, and we have decided not to try and sell the goods at a lower price or implement any discount program as such. So I think with this approach, actually it has helped maintain the price levels at February levels. That is also what I'm talking about. And to avoid any stockpiling at the midstream. So instead we see, as a company, we are seeing a gradual destocking in the pipeline, which will prompt actually a quicker supply demand balance recovery. This is my view for it.
Okay. I think, Jimbai, you have given very nice thing that, like you have been committed to the clients and you have never frozen clients to buy in the situation, the contract, whatever, and very properly ethics and morally the mining is working. We congratulate. It's a very good answer from you, Jimbai.
Sorry, we've gone offline. Hi, can I speak?
Yes.
No, I'm not able to hear you. Yes, Jimbai, please add on.
So what I was adding on is that, if one has to really press clients and would have made them purchase, there would be so much of a backlog, there would be so much of there was so much of stockpiling. Also, there would be so many more bankruptcies, if I may so say, because banks are not going to support you with longer extensions. So I think overall, I see a lot of other market challenges, but if all of us work together, so in fact, with government support, with the banking industry supporting, I think if all of us work together, miners have already shown a lot of responsibility. If everyone else works in together, especially in the banking sector also, I think it will really benefit the trade and it will help the trade recover faster. Sorry, you had a question.
I think yeah, I think the question what you have answered very well. You have told like that bank currency, that is what we have a problem in all over the world, and now just we are facing getting a loan from the banks and all those things. As you told, we have backlog things will be there. We have to understand what is required and what to be done at this moment. That is more important thing, as you told, Jimbai. Thank you, Jimbai. Thank you so much. I just add on one question to Mehul Bhai. This is very important, and I just want to know, in recent years, bank lending to the gem and jewelry sector has been cautious following corporate governance and weak perception over transparency related issue. What do you exactly feel? Just I want to take this Jimbai's question to the next to the Mehul Bhai, and I just wanted a small thing on that.
Yeah, I think in between you were cut off. But anyhow, what I heard, I will reply you. I don't know how much you are all are aware. 85-90% of the entire diamond financing is utilized by maybe less than 10% of the people. So it is only those 10% people, but no doubt they are in a larger volume, and they are the people who may have the bigger issues, because now the banks are saying that since your turnover has gone down, you don't need a bigger finance. And their attitude towards the gem and jewelry sector has become more negative, especially after these all 3-4 that runaway cases. Though it was not diamonds, it was related to gold and pearls and everything. But somehow they are blaming the diamond industry for this. Anyway, diamond industry has nothing to do with it, but the sector has spoiled his name. There is not a single newspaper where one of these comment or news is not there, which is not good, and it has very badly affected the creditability of the industry. So the banks are very negative about the sector, which is the worst thing. And those who has the bigger lendings, they will have a problem. But average mid-scale or the small companies who are not dependent on the banking, with the volumes may not be very high, but that sector will not be that affected because they are free from any of this or the interest burdens and all.
Okay, Mehul Bhai, I think it's very nicely you told. The thing is, because as we have to be very careful in this thing, the banking sector, and what we are like few companies have been bankruptcy, and after that we whole industry have to suffer. We have to be very careful what we are doing. It should be a properly strategic plan. I would last question I would come, because the time is very short, to Nirupama ma'am. What do you, as you have seen a long years into this industry, you're serving this industry from long years, always you have been very positive talking about, I've always seen you talking about branding, brand yourself, brand yourself, brand yourself. I have seen that being a brand, always you get that the market always have a good vibration. So I just wanted to know what exactly what exactly, as being a jewelry into jewelry manufacturer or into the loose diamond, what exactly we needed in the market to sustain for a longer time, Nirupama ma'am, as per your understanding from long years into this industry? I'm not able to hear you, ma'am. You have to unmute.
I started out this question by asking about branding. So I think branding is not necessarily a logo or a beautiful font to be used in advertising. It is when you take a name, what does it stand for? What is the character? What does it represent to you? So for example, when we think of Tata, what does immediately come to our mind? Trust, confidence, reliability. So similarly, I think we all have to make sure that we individually build those characteristics and those kind of attributes in the work we do, in the day-to-day life. Not only when being polite is not a brand. That's one of the characteristics or attributes. What we believe is, I treat my customers, consumers so well, but that does not necessarily make you a good brand. You have to have great quality. You have to make sure your service is very good. And it is not just to your top customers. You have to be able to do it across the customer base. Once you do that, the words of mouth spreads. And I think that is what we have to do. And one of the most important thing, in my opinion, for our industry is to really, really walk the talk. And that is about designing and merchandising. I don't think we always talk about design, design, design. What are we really investing in design? Are we really doing merchandising? What about the visual display? Where is the differentiation? So that, and please don't get me wrong, there are many who are doing beautiful jobs. And I know you have tried to bring in some collections, but I think, and that is where there is a room to bring in fresh thinking. Let's do that. That is where the investment is required. That's where the investment is required in terms of creating those stories. Engage with whoever we are working with the customers. Give them a sense that you want to really give them something which they will remember, the great memories. And I think those engagement points, those attributes are something that each one of us have to build in the industry.
Yes, very beautifully said, Nirupama ma'am. You have always.
If I may just come in.
Please, please.
There is what Nirupama ma'am said actually is it's all can be summarized in one quote, which says that branding is the art of becoming knowable, likable, and trustable.
Yes, very true.
I think, and another thing which she mentioned about design. So design is actually the silent ambassador of your brand. So if I completely agree with whatever Nirupama ma'am has said, and I think it should be actually be etched in gold for everyone for the future.
Yeah, fine. So I think Jimbai, you have added very good addition to whatever she told. I think the time is up. We need to conclude the meeting. So I think just with the last line, and what is your feeling for the next thing, what we are going to do, and what is the next future? I would start with Jimbai to just conclude few lines immediately, whatever we are going to do and what will be the future.
So, just as my closing comments, I was making a few notes. Like I said, point one, the entire supply chain has to be accountable. Number two, for the industry to revive, the government and the banking industry should assist. And number three, of course, is digitization. So if all these three things are kept in mind, I think we will look to a successful future.
Yes, Jimbai, I think very properly you have told us. Thank you so much. And the way you have concluded and the way you have summarized, it's very beautiful. I would request Mehul Bhai to just conclude few words, few lines, what exactly should be happen for the future. Because we have a shortage of time. So I just request you to put in 1 minute or 30 seconds.
Unmute.
Please unmute yourself, Mehul Bhai. We are not able to hear you.
Yeah. So what Jim has said, absolutely 3 correct point. Moral of the story: learn to digitalize. Be responsible, everybody in the pipeline, because we are all the partners of the pipeline and we all are equally responsible. Learn something from the bullion business to earn money from your product. Respect your product and don't try to dump in the product, but try to target the profitability, not big turnover, but look at your profits, look at your balance sheet. And another thing, please look positive in future. We have learned lot of things in the COVID times. We have learned lot of things in Zoom meetings and all that. So we have understood that lot of people are not required to be physical present in the office. Now you look at the IT industry, they work from home. So we need to learn all these things, and digitalization will be the most important factor in future, and everybody has to transform themselves or they will be the out of the race. And I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mehul Bhai. I think beautifully you have said, and Jimbai, everything. I think it's very good to hear all positive and it was beautiful session. And Jitu Bhai, I just would request you to finish with few lines. And after that, we would take Nirupama ma'am at last.
Adding to what Mehul Bhai, Jim Bhai have said, I think so very, very important point which came out through the entire session is the branding and the designing, which is very, very important to take up the industry at the next level. And to add up to that point, I think so very, very important again is the training and motivation of the team. This is a time when we are actually understaffed. A lot of people are not there. So how do we use and synergize our teams, motivate to make sure that the efforts and targets are achieved at all the levels?
Thank you, Jitu bhai. And last, Nirupama ma'am, I would just request you to just conclude the few lines.
I add two words to what has been said: sustainability and provenance. I think these are the two key words for future. I think the generation now, the consumers now are demanding, they want to know that the products are, where are they coming from, how are they manufactured, and how are you presenting them. So I think these two things are really very important, and all of us, each participant in the industry, I think we should pay attention to these two aspects. We recently, Tiffany announced that just today there was a press announcement, and they did said that earlier as well, that every diamond that they sell, they will know where did they come from, what is the journey it had, and that is why. Now, all of us are not Tiffany, all of us may not want to become a Tiffany, but I think we have to learn and aspire to be the best in the industry. So I think we have already seen the path that they have taken, and I think all of us have to learn from that and go in that direction. That's it.
Thank you, Nirupama ji. I think I just would put 2-3 lines from what I've learned from all the dignitaries and a great panelist. Jim bhai, I've told very rightly, you have to help each other in this industry. Don't push, just don't backlog all the things. Always be supportive and stand to your ethics and morals. Jitu bhai always told, make your team be motivated, just cost cut and do all those things. And Mehul bhai always with the positive energy, talking only the positivity. I love that. And Nirupama ma'am always taught us to be a brand, make yourself brand, not wearing good or showing good. Be actual inside a good brand by making a good productivity. It was lovingly talking to everyone, and I greatly thank all the panelists, Jim bhai, Nirupama ma'am, and Jitu bhai and Mehul bhai for being on this forum, and a lovely session and lovely learnings we have learned from panelists, a great panelist. Thank you so much. It has been a great time being with you. I think the time will be very less. We need more time to talk on this because we can keep on talking when it comes jewelry and diamonds. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
All of us, you did really, really well. Thank you. And
Thank you
for creating this platform.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Jim bhai. Thank you, everyone. Jitu bhai, Mehul bhai, Nirupama ma'am, Padma, and a whole team of Informa. They have did a great job by creating this platform and making ourselves to be more closer in the industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, panelists. Thank you, Mr. Chetan Mehta, Mr. Vimar Dalal, Mr. Mehul Shah, Nirupa Bhatt, Jitendra Jain. It was wonderful. Key takeaways, I think, is building brands, protecting your supply chain, and the diamond industry is resilient and will bounce back. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hope for the best. Bye-bye. Take care.